Canada, the strong and free North. Nothing could be wrong here, right? That could be further from the truth. In the 1970s, Indigenous people were going missing left and right, prominently in Alberta, British Columbia, and Ontario. The RCMP threw those cases to the back burner, and they eventually went cold due to the negligence from the law enforcement. In Tofield, Alberta, a man stumbled upon a body in a septic tank on his farm property. He called the authorities, and when they arrived, they started to investigate. They found a 25 to 30-year-old man who was presumed to be Indigenous or Caucasian. He seemed to be a part of a hate crime. He was mutilated, and he passed due to a fatal gunshot to the forehead. They called him Septic Tank Sam. They made a facial reconstruction. The case eventually turned cold, and as the years went by, the case became forgotten besides the occasional YouTubers covering it in their spooky unsolved cases. Genealogical advancements became strong enough to where there's a possibility he can be identified. They sent his DNA to a lab in Texas called Othram. The results came in, and they struck a match. Gordon Sanderson was his name. He finally had a name after 30 years. He was an Indigenous man who had lived in Edmonton with his daughter. In the past 50 years, there have been over 2,000 missing Indigenous people who haven't been found. 200 of those are identified bodies. Murder cases with Indigenous peoples go unsolved. Some are still cold cases. Every 5 years, a sex worker's body is found in surrounding areas by Edmonton. 9 times out of 10, those girls are Indigenous. This has been happening since the 80s. It is rumored it's a serial killer, but they just don't investigate. This needs to be addressed.